Welcome to there we are, to the Peak News. I'm Chaim Goldman, the Watchman. Thank you for joining us here on Thursday, the end of our first week back, The Peak, Season 2, 2.0, and we're excited to be back on the air. You know, it's always great to do a daily show. It's crazy, it's hectic, but it's a lot of fun, and we really appreciate you listening, and we love broadcasting out across our region here, and we want to let you know that I believe that we are streaming on Facebook. So if you want to tune in that way, please do. I got a thumbs up from the control room that we are, and you can go watch us, not just listen to us, on facebook.com/The Peak News Media. That's our name on Facebook, The Peak News Media. So come check us out there. Who are we, The Peak News? Well, we looked around and didn't like what we saw as far as how the media was handling itself. And what is the media supposed to be doing? Well, it's supposed to be providing what I consider to be, as someone who's been in media my entire professional career and even started doing it as a young lad, is that we have an obligation to our community, to represent the community properly, to highlight what is good, to call out what's not so good, to be the accountability for a community, so that the citizens of the community, because we are the government and we are everything, we're supposed to be everything. It seems these days we've abdicated just about everything to other people, even our very own lives, even educating our children, everything. We've given it up to strangers, people we have no idea, thinking that the government is going to take care of us. And maybe at a time, there was a time when the government was better than this. But we know that when you give people power, they want more. And when you give people control of money, they want more. And we're just, we're unfortunately, even though we're supposed to be human beings, we're animals a lot of the time. And we seek to do what's best for ourselves. Now, hopefully, you're not like that. Hopefully, you're a person who really cares about other people. Of course, we have to take care of our families. Of course, there is a level of, you do need to take care of your family first. You do need to look out for yourself. But when people get to the point, like what we're hearing, like where's FEMA in North Carolina right now? Where's the government? All that money that's supposed to be for emergency management was given to, guess what? Settle illegals. And so all of this money goes out to foreign wars. It goes out to people who are not citizens of this country. And when it comes time to take care of the people of this country, the government's just not there. And yet, where did the money come from? And where did the power come from? Well, if you know anything, it comes from us. It comes from we the people. And so the media is supposed to be out there looking around and asking the hard questions. But for the most part, we're not seeing that. Do we see that in the mainstream media, saying, where's the government in this area? How are they helping the people? Why is all this money and support going to people who are not even citizens of this country, but aren't going to the people, especially going to the veterans, the people who serve this country? These are questions that need to be asked. If you watch the vice presidential debate the other night, so many questions not getting asked, except we want to know about, J6 and what would happen and what, that whole thing. I mean, we're supposed to move on, right? But that we go back to. But the other things we don't talk about at all. But the thing is, that's going on in every single town. And so here, as we build out this project, this citizen journalist project that we have here at the Peak, we are saying the quiet stuff out loud, and we're asking those questions. And someone who's been with us since the beginning, since before we launched the show, is a gentleman who I met. Jim, is it okay if I call you a gentleman?
Okay? Sure, why not? It sounds fancy, but we'll let you do it.
I'll allow it. Is this gentleman who was running for mayor back in, when was that, 2022? And I would go to these forums, and he was the guy on stage that was cracking everybody up and was really just cutting through all the BS. And I said, this guy is radio gold. His name is Jim Miller, just a guy. And you may know him from there. You may know him from here, doing the Peak Rants at the end of each program. But as we end this first week back on the air in Season 2, as we end every show, we wanted to end the week with an hour of Jim Miller. And so we're going to be doing rants from beginning to end through here. And Jim Miller, just a guy, welcome. I want to say welcome to the Peak, but welcome to be a guest on the Peak News.
Yeah, it's a little different being a guest on something. usually the host, I guess. I don't know, but here I am, and I'm guessing that you're gonna have me as the guest still. So
The monologue and comic foil of it. We've actually promoted Jim. He is now the VP, the Vice President of Rants. That's what we've.
yeah, I got
we have
everything
that.
but a sash, right?
So, one of the things that really, well, the thing that keeps us on the air more than anything else is our sponsors. And we'd like you, as you listen to the commercials at the break, to consider patronizing them, because they're the ones who are providing this to you as a public service to our community. And our number one sponsor, our platinum sponsor, Springs Dentist and Dr. Craig Summer Holistic Dentistry in Colorado Springs. Please make sure they're our family dentist, great people, friends of ours, and such great patrons of the show. And so always a shout out to them. Plus, we're doing a pothole contest. We want you to go on our Facebook, find your most infamous pothole, take a photo of it, post it there. Tell us where it is. And we're going to be giving away prizes for that, for getting the best potholes. And there's, as I've explained in other shows, there's more to it than that, because the potholes is endemic of what's going on in our city. And so something as mundane as a pothole actually is a big story. So, as we finish up this first segment, I want to say thank you for joining us on The Peak. Please tell others about it. Your biggest role is to be a fan and let people know about The Peak and our website, thepeak.news, where we have over 100 podcasts. When we come back, we have Jim Miller here, and we're going to be talking about headlines or topics that are on Jim's mind. I'm Chaim Goldman. We'll be right back. Okay. Yes, sir.
I need you to, Chaim, I need you to log in.
Your sheet? What? It went out again?
Yeah, after like 3 minutes. That's why I came in here, but I couldn't log into it.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
But you couldn't get it to extend?
It didn't seem to listen to what I put in. So I'm going to try again in another setting here.
Oh, I left my cheat sheet. It's by your left hand. That's what I was
Oh,
saying.
oh, this is mine.
No. my
Oh,
cheat
this
sheet.
one. Oh.
Yeah.
I gave you. Back in 2.5 minutes. Okay, so Jim, just to remind you that this, if you see me do that, that means wrap it up. You need to get to the next thing.
On
If I,
like
if, I,
moment.
if I hold up a finger that's like one more minute, like I've given you a minute to sort of wrap it up, and that way we can keep the time budget going.
Gotcha. I'm gonna con Matt into bringing a portable timer in here one of these times.
No, we need a countdown timer. I think would be really helpful, rather than a count up, because I'm always having to do math and remember where I'm at
Right.
instead of just setting the timer at the beginning of the segment.
All it needs is two side, Matt. Shut up. I'm doing computer stuff.
Yeah, hold on.
I know.
Okay. I set everything to never sleep, so let's
Okay.
see what it does. All right. Hey, there it is. Okay. That's up. That's back on there. I'll totally throw our wonderful IT department under the bus on that one.
Okay.
I'll blame them.
Okay, so that should keep going, but I should
Yeah.
look over there.
Look over there, and during the commercial break,
Was it continuing to go though, or is this like a new stream now?
it's on the same. It's on the same feed, so
Okay, so it didn't stop.
I'll move that there. Just bump that mouse. If you can remember every break, just give it a little bit of a jiggle.
Can you tilt the camera a little bit to give Jim a little less room and me a little more?
Oh, you want to take room away from Jim?
Well, he's got plenty of room behind him, and I'm like falling out of the show.
No, you're good. You're good. Right,
There,
right there.
There we go.
Right there.
Beautiful. Nice shot.
Wonderful.
Looks good. I'm gonna hit I'll do it.
Okay. No, there's a minute. What do you
No,
need?
just the iris button, just to have it auto iris. 'Cause
Oh, you're fine. Yeah.
I think it's a little brighter than
Yep.
it needs to be.
Yeah, we got about 30 seconds.
Yep. Okay. High energy, let loose, and Matt, you gotta have your finger on the dump button, remember, because we got Jim in here.
As long as it's a duck noise, it's fine. It better quack. I told you this a long time ago, man.
You said dump it right now.
No,
right now.
You gotta
Okay,
have it
okay.
quack. It better quack. That's all I want to hear if I do say anything foul.
What?
Quack.
Okay. Welcome back to the Peak News. I'm Chaim Goldman, the Watchman. You're listening to us on AM 1460 and FM 101.1, The Answer. And we have as our guest and co-host for the entire hour someone who usually just ends the program, does clean up at the end, does our rants, our peak rants at the end. Just a guy, Jim Miller. Jim, again, thanks for being here.
Of course, yeah, usually I am just the janitor, just the guy at the end, just cleaning it up, finishing it off.
Okay, but here now we're going to have non-stop rants throughout the program. So this is a rant fest.
Just
today.
stuff that irritates me. That's a lot of stuff. Would have been a shorter show if I just would have talked about things I like, right?
Right, exactly. So this is we're playing around with formats now that we're back, with 2.0. We're going to be spending a lot of time this month focused on elections, from candidates to ballot initiatives to election integrity and other things. And so in this headline segment here, I asked Jim before the program, what are three things, because we generally do three headlines, what are three topics, overall topics in our city, in our region that you want to talk about? And the first one is private property rights. Jim.
Well, all right. It's your property. It's my property. It's whoever bought and sacrificed their time for their property. Why is it takes nothing more than an anonymous call, and then you got the city coming and telling you what to do? What is? I don't even understand what that's about. So we fund it, we pay for it, so some guy will just show up and be like, "Oh, I got an anonymous call." An anonymous call to come tell us what to do with our own property. Oh, you're working on your car. Oh, we saw you out there raking or shoveling. Hey, there's weeds. And it's like, look, if someone cares that much about what you're doing on your property, then maybe they need to be a better part of your community, your neighborhood. Maybe they need to knock on your door, and if you have a gate like I do, maybe a little note in your mailbox. Hey, I'm so-and-so. I wanted to talk to you about whatever. What's this? What's that? Oh, are you fixing a rail that broke? Are you doing this? It's your property. Nobody should be telling you what to do with your property. That's just my opinion and my stance on it. Why? And then we pay, so my hard-earned money, right, my tax money, goes to pay. So after a 10, 12-hour day, long, crappy, overworked, overtaxed day, then you come back and there's some notice from some guy that shows up, obviously when you're at work. They don't call and chit-chat with you. They don't show up in a mediary fashion going, hey, here's your accuser. I thought I had the right to face my accuser. Not just some random blasé things. I don't even know if these people are making up stuff. You can just blindly do it. Look, I don't know who these people are complaining about stuff, but they should never complain. And then I'm in the cars, so it's all, oh, your cars. Yeah, all right, dude, guess what? There's somebody over there selling drugs. There's problems by the school. Hey, look, there's someone over there robbing somebody at a store. Deal with real stuff. Quit bothering the rest of us that are just making a living. It's my property. Leave me be.
Okay. Topic number 2, local government accountability.
Oh, those knuckleheads. I want to be a career politician, the junior edition. Yeah, those guys are great. Hey, you can come in, right? You can go into city council and you can speak your piece. Tuesday at 11. Why? Why is it Tuesday at 11? Oh, that's right. They want to capitalize on the fact that they have us so busy, so overworked, so overwhelmed, so preoccupied with just keeping things okay for our family, for those we care about, taking care of them. Selling our time for paper tokens that's all it is. It's a paper token. It symbolizes our time that we sold ourselves out for to have food and a house and warmth. Tuesday at 11. We're all working. We might not even have lunch yet. And if we do, we want to sit down and eat and let our mind shut down and have a snack. They don't care. They capitalize on it. They don't want us going in and be like, look, man, You're taking too much of our money. You're not fixing the potholes. Why do we have 2C in place when there's already a budget for the roads? How come nobody's going, hey, look how effective system we are? Because I didn't have to use all the budget. I'm a government representative actually representing the people instead of some weird sideways interest stuff. How come something isn't focused more? The city council's what? They're on the utility board. And what do? Nobody's pushing for it to be cheaper. Isn't it a municipality? It's owned by the city. The city's funded by us, the people. Why are we paying so much for utilities? I understand some of the green energy stuff pushed by the state and the Fed. That does kind of screw us over a bit, but this is getting out of hand. None of these local politicians seem to be held accountable with nothing. It's, let's do 1,000 parties. Isn't that what Mayor Yum Yum Mama blah 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 said? What is that? What is that? If it was a better place to live and it was a little nicer like it used to be and a little more sense of community, think we might be a little more into that. These politicians do all this fluffy talk and try to make things sound nice instead of getting to the core issues of things, and none of them are held accountable for nothing. They just want to be career politicians and be popular and liked by people, so they're so fake, they're not even honest with themselves anymore, in my opinion.
Well, and you touched on this, but going into our last segment, lack of community and looking out for your neighbor. I know that's overall a big issue for you.
It is a significant issue for me. We're not neighborly anymore. When I was growing up, I grew up poor with nothing. I come from very, very little. The community and the neighborhood used to look out for each other. Even if I didn't like, if Haim was my neighbor and I didn't like Haim, I don't have to be friends to be neighbors. Because if they screw with his place, they're going to screw with mine eventually, or vice versa. So we'd look out. Whether we had kids, wives, whatever. Family members staying, coming in for a thing, hey, no problem. I may not be your friend, you're still my neighbor. Family comes in, here's a key. You told me to just unlock the gate and hand the key to you. Go ahead, guys, go in there. He's at work. It's not an issue. We look out for each other. We don't let people come around that look like a problem. We keep a good eye on not necessarily strangers. Strange behavior. Because everybody's forgot. You ever watch all them crime documentaries? All that stuff. Oh, the murder guy or the serial killer and the serial rapist and stuff. Nobody ever, they got one thing in common. Nobody ever checked to see, why are you in that neighborhood? What are you doing? Can I help you? Do you need directions? I don't recognize you. Have a sense of community. Pick up the trash around your area. Be neighborly. If there is any kind of predators for the children, any of that kind of stuff that's registered in your neighborhood, share that information with each other. Keep it picked up. Watch each other. Our kids are coming home from school and stuff. It's okay. We don't have to be friends to be neighbors. Watch this stuff. Be a community, because if you want it better, you need to be better. Not calling on the system. They're not even held accountable for nothing anyways.
Well, why do you think it's become like that, Jim? I mean, I think anybody, grew up in basically anywhere in America, pretty much, even in cities, that people did look out for each other. People did care. You even knew you knew them. You don't even know their name. People are, and I live outside the city, and people more want to be left alone, like the people who've been moved out. So there's I'm not saying it's gone. There's a level of neighborliness out there. But what do you think has happened to America over the past 10, 20 years to lose all that?
I don't know. Internet, Wi-Fi, cell phones. Last 2 decades it's just been that. People act like that's the real world now. You talk to some people in public, they kind of get weird with you. You're like, oh hey, how you doing? Oh, I got the door for you, no problem. Hey, you know what? I'm just an okay person. You dropped your drink. Let me be a pal. I'm getting my drink. I'll grab you a drink too. You look like you're overworked and overtaxed and tired and grumpy. Sometimes it's just the little stuff of just being people. I don't think anybody cares anymore, honestly. Everybody's so complacent that they're honestly just complicit to every of the wrongdoings and issues and the degradation of just society and the community. Nobody cares. Do you see people even really care about themselves? They don't even slow down in parking lots anymore.
No, I think that we've all, in a lot of ways, we've been so abused by this that we've lost hope and we've checked out. And it makes you in a way animalistic. It makes you realize, hey, if no one's looking out for me, I can't afford to do it for other people. And it's horrible, because when you're a good person, it breaks your heart. But we're even looking at that now. I mean, how many people are just not going to vote? And how many people aren't doing anything? And look at what's going on in our country. You would think over the past few years, people would have woken up to what's going on and would get out there. But in a way, people are just pulling away even more.
It's probably because it takes effort. Nobody wants to put the extra effort towards doing right or being good or making an effort to be good. They're so worried about whatever somebody else is going to think about them doing the right thing too.
That's also the cancel culture and all that and the criticism. So, I'll just always segue that back into, you got to do something. And if you understand how important the media is and you want to be part of what we're doing here, please come join us at the Peak. We'll let you rant like Jim. How about that?
If you want to.
I'm Goldman the Watchman. You're listening to the Peak. When we come back, we're going to be dealing with the mainstreaming of pedophilia. We'll be right back. It was great, John.
Huh?
It was great, man.
Nice. It's not stuff that I'm grumpy about.
But it's good.
No,
When you're speaking for other people. I mean, that's the thing. People go, yeah, to me, if I can get other people that goes, you know what, I can speak too. If Jim can say it, if Chaim can say it, I can say it. So, okay, so this one, we're on page 3. This is 5.5 minutes. So, generally we'll just keep it going, but of course, once you hear the music, you gotta land it so I can throw to the break,
Right.
But I'll probably give you like when we're about 1 minute out from the end, I'll let you know. But, so we're gonna talk with, what do you see, what have you seen been going on where this has become more common, more acceptable, pushing this on us, and then do that for a couple minutes, and then what do we do about it? What can we do about it at a local level?
Right. And you'll do all those cues while we're doing this, so.
And you want to push the punch a pedophile campaign.
Punch a pedo, rob a rapist, trample a trafficker. If you're gonna be
Okay.
angry, be productive and be angry towards the problems, not to the rest of us just trying to live. I'm making shirts, you know that, right?
What?
Punch a pedo. Feel angry? Punch a pedo.
Of course, we're not advocating violence, but we are.
Just saying, if you're
I'm
gonna.
gonna have to say. Jim is saying this figuratively.
I'm promoting my new clothing and sticker line. Well, the good news is it didn't hit. Matt said it did pretty good with things for kind of being out of the loop for a bit. It's just a really tight schedule today.
Hi, Elizabeth, comma, I'm on the radio right now. I'll give you a ring in about an hour. Period. If you have it all in another document, there's no losing it. Comma, I'll walk you through it. Period. Thanks. Exclamation point. Coming back in about 30 seconds. About 30 seconds. You're back. Welcome back to The Peak. I'm Chaim Goldman, the Watchman. You're listening to us on AM 1460 and FM 101.1. The Answer, hyper-local news talk across the entire Pikes Peak region, and we're so happy to be back. Season 2 of The Peak started this week, and we're wrapping it up as we wrap up every program with Jim Miller, but Jim's here for the whole hour, and we're letting him around, because that's what he does. That's why he's here. But I hope that this inspires you. I hope that what we do here to say, you know what, yeah, I don't like that either, but here's the thing, you have to speak up. Because if we remain silent, if we don't exercise a right, it's like exercising your body. If you don't exercise a right, it goes away. And so we need to use our First Amendment rights while we still have it. And as you can see, so much of it is being limited with this cancel culture from the governmental level. So let's push back, and at least in our region, do that. And people know, if they know Jim, they know that something that's really personal to him, and we're going to be talking to him about why he ran for mayor in the next segment, but that pedophilia, the pedophiles, rapists, bad people in our community that aren't being held accountable, just that's the thing that really gets him. And so Jim wanted to talk about during this segment, the mainstreaming of pedophilia, how it's becoming normal in our society and what we can do about it. Jim.
Well, let's be honest and realistic about this. This is an uncomfortable topic. This is a disgusting, disturbing, despicable, disgraceful, terrible topic to speak about. Let's be very frank and blunt about that first off. This topic makes a lot of people uncomfortable. But it's everywhere.
It should. Abuse of children.
It should. It should. What sickens me about this is that you see these convicted felon pedophiles, convicted felon rapists, convicted felon sex traffickers. They just get to live their life. They have a good time. They don't serve much of a sentence. It seems to be that someone that just does drugs on a weekend seems to get more trouble and held way more accountable than a true problem to society. It's disturbing to me. I have some that live next door to me, and I live right next to a church. They're 0 feet from a church. You'll look in your neighborhoods, you will see that they're next to the schools, next to the parks, next to the daycares, and they are living their best life, acting like they didn't give some innocent, some poor child, some young lady, young man even, a lifelong sentence, and just living their best life as though it's not even a thing and it don't matter. And it does. It irks and it disgusts me.
And
it makes
what
me
you're
very
saying
angry.
is that when they serve time, if they serve time, then they're placed back out in the neighborhoods. Well, what is it we can do about it as citizens to protect our children, protect our community in general?
Well, Halloween's coming up, for instance, right? So let's be a little proactive. I've sent a number of things to Google Maps, to be very honest, of let's put the sex offenders on there. So it's an address so nobody's trick-or-treating. And even if it is only for Halloween season, okay? Something. But let's be proactive. Let's
Like
look.
on neighborhood.com?
Yeah, any of that. It's fine. Be on the neighborhood.com, any of those apps. SOTAR, S-O-T-A-R, Colorado's a good thing to look at. It will show you where they are. Don't take your children to these neighborhoods and stuff. If you know about them yourself, spread the good word. I say make some flyers. It is public information.
Maybe stand on the sidewalk in front of their house and just let people know, hey, if you want to go up there, you just got to know.
Stretch the old legs of freedom and you speak up about it so that some other innocent, some other defenseless, because if you can defend yourself or hold your own, that you can keep them protected and there isn't another survivor later on.
What else? What can we do for the long term?
I think they need to be held much more accountable with sentencing and stuff. This is evil in the flesh. There's no other way to put this. I personally am all for, that's the one thing where I'm like, no, these should be death sentence.
Penalty?
Death penalty, period.
No, we don't have that at all in Colorado.
No, death penalty. And it should be that way. They're not civilized. I don't think they deserve any civil rights when they quit being civilized and do such heinous and disgusting stuff in society.
And so it's a little tongue-in-cheek, but Jim talks about launching his Punch a Pedophile campaign. No, we're not advocating that. He's saying that figuratively, I'm sure.
I do say punch a pedophile, rob a rapist, trample a trafficker. Yes, I do. It is a clothing line and stickers that will be out soon. Buy them, get them. I'll give them to you for free.
Well, when we say here at the Peak, we say the quiet stuff out loud. I think we just proved it. We need to work better in our society, folks, and we need to especially protect those who are most vulnerable, the children. Well, when we come back, we're going to be talking to Jim about why he ran for mayor and also what is he doing here at the Peak. I'm Chaim Goldman. We'll be right back. We got 2 minutes. We're back. Yeah,
Sorry.
we're on page 4. No, that was great.
All that stuff just
Sorry.
grosses me
No,
out.
man, it's good stuff. Good radio. Okay, so we're on page 4. So you're going to give your background a little bit, but you want to just move it up to today. Say I'm not, because hey, we all have a history, and that lets us be better in the future. So where we've been is where we can go back and we can help. It's where we have cred.
All right. So you get that old street cred like Shia LaBeouf, because he joined the game. So people are watching us on that thing right
People
now.
are. I don't know. I don't know if we have anybody if they're watching. What do we got there? But yeah, we do have to remember that we don't get a break. We're
I know.
actually in front of the
I'm
people.
eating gummy bears and you had a Diet Coke in the fridge, so I'm drinking it. I need the caffeine.
Okay, we're back in 30. Thank you if you're joining us on the live stream or in recording. Next up, talking to Jim about why he ran for mayor, and then in the final segment, we're going to be talking about ballot initiatives from a Peak Rant perspective. Okay, we're back. Welcome back to the Peak News. I'm Chaim Goldman, the Watchman. You're listening to us on AM 1460 and FM 101.1. The Answer, part of the Salem Network here in the Pikes Peak region out of Colorado Springs. We are the local, hyper-local, but local program on during the week here because our national hosts are fantastic, but they can't talk about what's happening on the streets here. They don't know, and they can't do it. So that's why we're here as the Peak, so that we can bring this information to you as your neighbors, as local citizens, and encourage you to do the same. And we invite you to join us here at the Peak. Go to thepeak.news, learn about us, become a citizen journalist. Yes, we want you to help us tell these stories. You can be a guest, an intern. If you have young people in school, we have an internship program. Maybe you can be a sponsor. They're the ones who help pay the bills here. And we love our sponsors that are bringing it to you as a public service. So listen to the commercials, go on our website, go to their websites. We have hot links to all of our sponsors from the website, and spread the word. Tell people 3 to 4 p.m., Monday through Thursday, here on The Answer, that they can tune into the Peak, or go check out our over 100 podcasts that are on our website at thepeak.news. So we have Jim Miller here, our Just a Guy, Peak Rants guy here for the entire program. Thought since we finished the program up this way every day, that finishing up our first week back in our second season, it'd be good to have Jim as a guest. So Jim, again, Just a Guy, thanks so much for what you've been doing. You've really added a great perspective, and you've become, a great friend and a contributor here. So thank you for that, for helping us make the Peak a reality.
No worries. You don't need to be thanking me for doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Excellent. Hey, take that to heart, because that's what we should all be doing. We should know what we're supposed to be doing, and when the opportunity presents itself, like it did for Jim, that I just came out of nowhere and said, "You want to be on the radio?" He jumped on it, and he's been showing up faithfully ever since. So Jim, give us a little bit about your background, and then we're going to ask you why you ran for mayor.
How far back you want me to start? I was born. I was a child. No, I come from very little. I have some siblings, like most of us
From
do.
where
I was
originally?
adopted. I'm actually from California originally. Where I was born burned down and doesn't exist anymore. It burned down, 7-8 years ago. Paradise.
Oh, really?
That big PG&E fire. Yeah.
Really?
So that place doesn't even exist anymore. The hospital I was born in doesn't exist anymore, as far as I know. I haven't been back in a long time. What brought me out here is my son's mom kind of jumped states with my son. Not kind of, she just did. So what am I on? I'm working on my 16th year out here then, because he was 4 months old when she jumped out here. So I moved out here to be with my son. Lots of fun-filled court and things later on with her. That's always fun. Almost every 2 years. That's expensive. The Marine Corps days before that, I was a lot bigger, a lot meaner, a lot less sober, a lot different animal, quite burly, quite mean, not quite as civilized. I think I'm funnier now, but I think it's because I'm sober, so that's my kind of keep everything going. I have my son, like I mentioned earlier. I have my daughter. They're teenagers. Let's not sugarcoat it. They're jerks. And teenagers are some of the meanest, not sharpest human beings I've ever been around in my life. This does not mean I don't love my children. I'm just one of the few parents that's very honest going, yeah, they're teenagers. They're mean, dumb, and just not even good at being bad. It's weird era too. It's fine. I still love my kids. I had to take my daughter yesterday to go buy shoes for a dance I don't want her to go to with a boyfriend I don't like, but I still love my daughter, so I did it.
Why'd you run for mayor, Jim? Why'd you in a field? It was a field of 12, and you came out 12th.
Yeah, yes,
Okay.
I guess last place is still first in something, right? First loser. So, politically speaking, I am honestly probably the only candidate that was up there that was truly unaffiliated. I'm not involved in no political parties. I am just a guy. That's how that all started, because they're like, who are you? I'm like, I'm just a guy. But I ran because I was tired of all the career politicians, the kind of good old boys nonsensical stuff that tends to kind of flow out here a bit. I don't like how it's just kind of career. Politics is a career. It should be a burden like jury duty. It should be just so unbearable, irritating, annoying. You're just going, this is stuff that has to be done. I'm self-employed, so I know that 90% of my work I do is it's stuff that has to be done. The other 10% is when I actually get paid for, and I only get to keep out of that 10% of work, 3-4% of it, and that's so I can put fuel in the work truck again. I just didn't like that. I didn't like how the local government is with people with private property, your stuff, your things. Then at my house, and we live next door to a church, they allowed, in my opinion, the system that's supposed to be there for mental health and safe spaces and stuff right next to a church, which they let 4 convicted felon pedophiles move in 0 feet from a church like it wasn't a big deal and don't matter. And then I had brought it up, nobody cared, nobody listened, so I made sure everybody listened. That's kind of was this little straw, the cherry on top, whatever it is that broke the camel's back or made me grumpy and go, screw it, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm going to go take a swing for it. And that's what had me run for mayor, because I probably am the closest thing to, believing in the Constitution as it gets. Like, leave all the problems away from me. I'm supposed to just kind of relax and enjoy family time,
Well, we're in the election season. What'd you learn most in being a political candidate?
Most people are pretty fake, and there's a lot of dog and phony shows going on. Most events
Meaning the other candidates,
yes,
not the people.
Yes,
the people. Okay.
Yes. Just the people are fine, but people tend to sugarcoat or cover things or kind of do this or be whatever's in front of them. Oh, you like potatoes? I like potatoes too. And you're like, why are you being so fake? It's annoying and irritating to me. Most of the organizations that do put on the events, they're just looking to see, what are you going to give to us? What are we going to get if we back you or put something towards you? They don't really want honest answers. They just want, lack of a better term, what are you going to reciprocate? Little quid pro quos, right? That's what I noticed.
Okay. So, flipping now to your role here at the Peak News. Well, why'd you join us here? I came up to you, you knew me from when you were running for mayor, since I do the voter guide, but then I came to you and said, Jim, I want to bring you on the radio here. I think, and doing rants is I think would be great, because that's what you had the opportunity. Short format is all they gave you on the stage mostly. So why'd you join us here?
Part of this is actually pretty therapeutic for me. It keeps me much more
Cathartic.
calm and a little more probably level, not so irritated and angry. It's a good outlet. It's a good thing to spread the word. It's a good thing to show other people that just exercise your freedoms. Get out there and stretch your old freedom legs. Do it. Don't stand there and do nothing. That's the worst thing you can do. Just something. Try something. Grab the bat, swing it as hard as you can, as many times as you can. You're eventually going to hit something. Something's going to happen. I naturally talk a lot. It seemed to just kind of work. So, it's something. It's better than doing nothing, and it turned out working. So here I am.
Yeah, and we want to invite you. You're not going to get Jim's spot, but you can come on and be a reporter, and you can do it for real. We do it. We had our show yesterday with our interns. Our interns are coming on the radio. So this is real deal, folks, and we want you to join us. Jim, over the first, 6 or so months that we did this in season 1, how do you think you developed, grew, within this? Because you really hadn't done media before, and now you're getting quite polished at it.
I never done it before. I think I'm just getting more comfortable around the gear, the equipment, the settings, just do it and make it happen. I think I've definitely improved with my speaking ability as well. I can keep it from becoming obnoxious from time to time. And I know when to cue in to be funny and not funny too, especially on topics and stuff. So I think I've definitely improved public speaking wise, just, I mean, 1,000-fold. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, no, definitely. And when you have a mic and you get to do it regularly, I mean, that's what happens. You get to hone your skill. And yeah, Jim, it's been great. I mean, I went back to some of the ones we did even in the pilot, and they were good because you were raw there. And actually, when I tried to, as a producer, was working things through with Jim, and I tried because I'm very structured in what I do. I tried to do that with Jim, did not work at all. So that's what you do as a producer. You try things out, and I think we found our sweet spot.
I'm definitely organized chaos on a good day,
Okay.
but it works.
So as we're finishing up this segment, what encouragement do you have for people who've maybe given up? They feel silenced. They feel nobody cares, and then they can't speak up at work in their own families with their children. What encouragement do you give them so that they can be bold like you and I are and take part in this great country, this great region that we have?
I don't necessarily think I'm bold. I think I'm just doing what we're supposed to all be doing. I think most everybody out there, if you're giving up as a whole, you're giving up on yourself. It's that thing. Impress yourself, you'll impress the people that matter in your life most. Speak up, stand up. If you got to ball up your fist for something to keep yourself safe and protected, do it. Don't let people walk on you. Don't let nobody ever tell you what you can and can't do. You do what you need to do, how you need to do it for you and yours. Be a good person. It's why I say, if you want it better, be better. Don't give up, don't do nothing, because then you're giving up on yourself. You're doing nothing for yourself. You can't be doing that. You have a 1 in a 400 trillion chance to exist. Do something with it. The odds were against you from the start, and you're here. So whatever it is, find your point, your purpose, and exercise it. Do it. Stand up, breathe, talk, do the right thing even when everybody else isn't. It's all right. You're not the only person or the only people that ever wanted to give up or got exhausted or burned out. We all do it. It's that thing. Just keep going.
Okay. Well, thank you, Jim. Thank you. It's been a pleasure. I'm looking forward to what we're doing here in Phase 2 and Season 2. And you know what? If you're not a talker, we have a lot of jobs. We got tech. We got all kinds of stuff that you can take part in here at The Peak. Go to thepeak.news for more information. I'm Chaim Goldman, the Watchman. When we come back, we're going to be talking ballot initiatives with Jim. We'll be right back. Excellent segment. Real good. And we got it on video. Excellent.
We're going to have videos. You're going to start making shorts and clips
Yeah,
and putting them
well,
on the interwebs for me.
Supposedly the AI will help us with that.
The who?
But the artificial
Skynets?
intelligence.
All the Terminators? All the
Yeah,
Skynets?
exactly.
and
Our
stuff?
future overlords will help us.
I'm going to
Okay.
check on the stream here,
Okay.
make sure we're good. It is running.
How much time do we have?
Switch over to here.
This segment is 7.5 minutes.
How much time do I have on the commercial?
Oh, on the commercial, we're only 30 seconds. You got about 2 minutes.
I
to
can grab a drink?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay, it says it's at 43 minutes, 44 minutes.
Do we have people on?
Well, what's weird is I can't seem to get on the stream on my phone now, so that's why I'm checking on it. It looks like it's up and running.
I mean, it never glitched. Does it say
Yeah.
we have anybody? Anybody out there?
Let's see. Dare I? It says
Is
it's
one of those you?
Well, it's
Is one me and one you?
Yeah, let's see here. One of them's probably me. But Riverside's recording. 36 minutes. It's live. Everything looks good. I don't know why I can't get it on my phone though.
Okay.
Maybe it's something on my phone.
Okay.
All right. Well, yep. It says it's running. There's actively data going right now. So, okay. I'm assuming I'm going to go out on a limb and assume we're not doing a recorded gym rant. Is that a fair assumption?
This is, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just making
It's a live
sure.
gym rant.
And what do you think?
By the way, were these part of the service that we brought in? That Brooke brought in?
Brooke brought those in.
Okay,
Yeah.
did. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm still good on those, right? I asked.
Now, I want to make sure you're not drinking someone else's.
No,
Okay.
no,
I didn't know if she
you're
bought
good.
Diet Coke.
I just find the only caffeinated thing.
Okay.
I asked
It's
yesterday.
fine. If it was someone else's, I just need to go replace it. We're back in a minute.
I should write my name on them and just stick them in there.
You know, it's an office, so people bring in.
No, I'm always very careful with the drinks.
Brooke gets the snacks. Okay. Okay, so we're on page 5. So we'll have about a minute and a half or so for each one. 2 minutes.
Nice. Which one we starting off with?
The 79, the big one. The
Oof.
bullshit.
Okay. We start right off bad, huh?
Welcome back to the Peak News. I'm Chaim Goldman, the Watchman. You're listening to us on AM 1460 and FM 101.1 The Answer. And we have just a guy, Jim Miller, here for the hour. And in this final segment that we're doing with Jim, we're going to be talking about ballot initiatives because, hey, it's election season. And there's a lot of ballot initiatives here in Colorado. And we're going to be covering this a lot. In fact, next Tuesday, we're having Jason Lupo on, and we're going to be covering a lot of different ballot initiatives. But since we have Jim, we wanted to cover a few ballot initiatives that he cares about and do it in our peak rant style. So first, we're going to be talking about Amendment 79. This is the constitutional right to abortion. It would need 55% of the vote in the state to pass because it's a constitutional amendment. And what this would do is enshrine abortion in the Constitution up until birth, taxpayer funded, and no parental notification. Jim.
All right. So, if anybody's ever spoken to me before, you already know how I feel about abortion and these types of topics and issues. First, the biggest takeaway is the government should not be involved in any of our day-to-day lives. I don't care what anybody says. They should not be telling any of us what to do in our households. I don't like abortion. I don't think killing babies is good. I think it's terrible. I think it's disgusting and gross. I think abortion does have a purpose. If it's a medical condition, mom or baby, both, one will expire. There are some situations that I can understand from medical standpoints is fine. There are some very terrible situations that can happen to young women and make them impregnated, incest, and so forth. I do think that that is fine too. Honestly, these are my opinions. It's just how it is. There is a place and a point for it. Abortion has been around for a very long time, but up till birth, that's really gross. I don't understand why that's a thing. I don't understand why we're paying for this stuff. I just it's disgusting. And then where's this thing? No parental notification. So what is that? So as per usual, this is another big part of this stuff that nobody ever talks about. As a father, if there's a baby born, we get no say in abortion. As a father, sure, you come in there like the farmer, you planted the seed. Okay, I got you. But a father should have to say, whatever. Maybe he wants to pay for all the medical care.
You're saying the father of the baby, not
yes.
the parent of the child.
Yes, the parent should too if it's a minor,
yeah.
for crying out loud. But I'm saying with the part of like a father, the man who got the lady pregnant, he should have a say in this stuff. There's never a say in any of this for a father. But if she keeps the baby, he's sure on the hook for all of it, isn't he? But isn't going to say to go, no, I'll take care of you medically, whatever, during the duration, even after. Hell, I pay for one of those, mama makeup, do-over, whatever medical thing. Maybe dudes like that, and the kid can live with him.
Or adoption.
Some adoption, anything. There's lots of options. Lots of options.
Okay, next one is Initiative KK, Firearms and Ammunition Excise Tax, create a new state tax on firearm sellers to 6.5%. And this would be firearm parts, ammunition, and use the revenue for crime victim services, mental health services for veterans and youth, and school safety programs. So taxing guns in order to pay for crimes and other things, criminal programs.
Yeah, no. Vote no on it. Why are you taxing firearms and then putting them under the big guise of a bunch of good things? All right, there's already budgets for all those types of things. I'm a veteran. There's veteran stuff. Hey, isn't the police department supposed to be for crime prevention, right? Why aren't they doing that? Oh, because they're busy chasing down registrations and window tint. Don't be a window tint cop if you're out there and fight some real crime, not just some revenue nonsense. No, 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 no. We're taxed enough. It's just a subtle way of trying to attack our amendment, a Second Amendment, to even have firearms. So they're gonna, try to charge us out of it like they did cigarettes? I used to smoke. I didn't quit because I wanted to.
Right, so they can't be infringed except you make it financially
Yeah.
impossible for people to do it.
While you're already overworking and overtaxing us? Yeah, I'm good. No on that one. That's ridiculous. Is that one something Governor Puller Sausage did? He likes to stick it to us constantly.
Well, by the way, you might not know this, but in Colorado Springs, they passed about a year ago a law that taxes massage therapists to take the money and to police to get rid of supposedly of the massage parlors, so that you're taxing legitimate businesses to go after what the police are already funded to do. So just know that these types of things.
So these
are
are the
out there
type of
constantly.
things that code enforcement for the city and the police department should be actually after, and the sheriff's department.
Okay, final one. This is Initiative 128. It's going to be on the ballot. Parole, excuse me, 128, parole eligibility for violent crimes. And this would go from currently on the books, 75%. If you commit a violent crime, you have to serve at least 75% of the sentence. And this would bring it up to 85% for violent crimes.
Good. It should be more. It should be the whole sentence. What's the point of a sentence if they don't even complete it? What? Really? It's simple as that. There's no more to even say about these types of things. You get all these different violent
Good
crimes.
behavior, people who are
Yeah. They were
rehabilitated.
super good in the good behavior in the first place. Look, there's some of this stuff where there's no point. Don't make the sentence that long then, I guess. No, push it through. If you have a sentence, you got to carry out your sentence. Consequences for your actions. This is why people screw up too sometimes and do bad things, and bad people seem to flourish because, oh, you're a really good model citizen in a controlled environment. Wow, what discipline? Really? Come on.
Right, in a 9x10.
Yeah, a controlled environment on a schedule, and you didn't screw up. There's not many people that can screw that up. No, I'm good. They should be serving longest sentences because those violent crimes do include rapes, right? And pedophilia, right? Yeah, no. They need to have a much longer sentence, or if it's something of that nature that's truly vile, the death penalty should be enacted.
Okay, so if you want, so on Jim's voter guide here, you got a no on 79, a no on KK, and a yes on 128. Is that where we're at?
There we go. Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Jim. We should do the Jim Miller voter guide if we have time. we should have you go through. I think that's
Once
a
a
whole
week.
show. I think that's a whole show with you, Jim Miller's voter guide.
Once a week, we'll go over each of them together.
I'm Chaim Goldman, the Watchman. You're listening to The Peak on AM 1460 and FM 101.1. The Answer. We'll be right back.
I'll do that. I would really do that. It would probably be good. Because we'd just be going through the book and then read them and then go, no, yes, no, nice. Who words yours? Because some of this stuff you read, you're like, what?
No, we do definitely for these shows that we're going to do, though. We should have a rant on each one of these.
If you could almost do once a week where we go over 3 ballot things or 10, just Thursdays
Well, I think there's
during
14,
election.
14 total plus there's a couple local ones. There's 14 state ones.
Look at how much stuff is in this book. How many pages is this?
No.
109?
Well, here's the deal. First, they go through and give a synopsis in their opinion, and then they publish the entire.
Why are they
Ballot
writing
initiative.
their opinion? Their opinion is not.
No, well,
that's
right,
not. That's
right.
kind of filthy.
Well, so this is what the Blue Book is supposed to be. We have a law. This is what I've been told. We have a law in the state that ballot initiatives have to be written in the most simple, understandable language possible. It's actually a law. Then they don't do that and they don't enforce it. So then they come up with the Blue Book to help you understand the initiative that's supposed to be written simply.
You know, this is my problem with laws and the tax
Well, the
stuff, right? If
bureaucracy
it's
and
so extra that you have to have a specialist or a bunch of guidebooks on it, then there's a problem with the setup.
And then the problem with the guidebook is the super majority Democratic Progressive legislature in Denver is the one who oversees the book. So
Nah, it should be
So-
someone unaffiliated,
Right.
third party, independent,
Right.
nothing.
exactly. So now there was a lawsuit done, and there's an accusation that, hey, the Blue Book, which is supposed to be the neutral thing to help people understand what's going on, is actually a piece of propaganda that's partisan, including the fact that it says there's no, now, and that's true directly, there's no fiscal impact for constitutional abortion until the policies come in and the taxpayer money starts paid for it. But they're actually saying there's no specific, but put in taxpayer funded, fill in the blank, there's gonna be a fiscal impact. Is it tax money? Is the fact that there are gonna be fewer people, is that gonna affect the tax base later? I mean, but the one of the major opponents of 79 actually tried to sue the Blue Book. Judge threw it out when they did the review and were saying there was no fiscal impact, saying that it was deceptive. And so we actually, as the Peak, reported on it. Well, it was before, and actually helped get some press on it. So we did that behind the
That's
scenes.
my
which
problem
was
with
good.
judges,
Now
though.
we're back. Well, we have something for judges, not us, but there's. Okay, so you're just gonna. This is short, so you're just gonna say thanks real quick. Well, that's it for the Peak News for our first week back in season 2. Hope you've been enjoying it. This was our origin week. We're talking about vision, what we're doing, bringing on the people who have been helping to bring this to you in our first season, and are now, they re-upped and they're back for our second season. So Jim Miller, just a guy. Thanks so much, man. Looking forward to this second season.
Nope, thank you, Heim. Thank everybody that actually listens, or anybody that cares to listen or likes the show. It's appreciated. It's not possible without any of you. That's just the way it is, or any of these sponsors, or anybody that believes in any of this stuff locally or wants it better. That's always our cross-reference. Even we disagree, we all want it better. So let's make it better and be better.
Okay, well, we want you to join. So go on thepeak.news, listen to our podcast, spread the word about our broadcast Monday through Thursday here on this station, and become a citizen journalist or an intern or a guest or a sponsor. We still have room for sponsors, and we thank Springs Dentist and Dr. Craig Summers, Holistic Dentistry here in Colorado Springs, for being our platinum sponsor. Also, thank you to Matt West, who's running the board today, who's our producer, James, our #1 intern, Zach Goldman, Audra, who you got to meet yesterday. Tomorrow, we're not here. We get a break on Fridays. Dirk Hobbs and the Southern Colorado Business Forum and Digest is here at 3 to 4 p.m. on Monday. It's October 7th, the one-year anniversary of the Hamas massacre in Israel. We're going to be bringing back on Mohammed Faridi of Iranian Christians International. Israel and Iran look to be on the brink of war, but we're going to talk about why that matters here. You know, it matters everywhere, but especially here in the Colorado Springs region. And then on Tuesday, Ballot Initiative overview with Jason Lupo. Coming up next, the Larry Elder Show here on The Answer. The Peak, we say the quiet stuff out loud, and now in 2.0, we're saying it even louder. Please join us, because the best is yet to come. Citizen journalism here in the Pikes Peak region. I'm Chaim Goldman, the Watchman, and we're out for such a time as this. Shalom. Cool, man. Good deal. Thank you, everybody, if you're listening. How do we turn this? Leave.
I do not know. It is a computer. Computers do not
End
like it.
session for all.